Welcome back to Wrenching Wrecked. We were playing on the tractor the other day, got this all set up. Unfortunately, I didn't have the GoPro, so this was filmed on the phone, but we got the new Hitch, so we'll cut over to that. Enjoy this kind of sloppy one-handed work, because guys that are filming everything one-handed with a phone and working on stuff, props to you. I don't know how you do it. Let's see how this goes. I said how crappy Amazon things are prior to opening the rest of the box. So I got that, that's the top link pin, 2 of these. I'm assuming that's hopefully threaded based on the studs I just yanked out of there. But those will go into the arms, the lift arms for the 3-point. This was a $30 Hitch assembly. I got spacers, I got bushings, I got step-up bushings, and I have pins. I can't even complain with the lock pins and ring. I don't know what that's for. And a couple of cotter pins. There might be some more in the box that I gotta dig out, but for a cheapo setup, that's a lot of parts that should make that relatively universal for this entire assembly. This might actually work. Would have been really nice if I brought all this stuff inside first, but there's a lock washer, there's 2 lock washers, 2 threaded pins. Those are the only things that thread in on this entire thing, so I'm just jamming them down there. I'm also not gonna full final torque these down. No threads on the end of this. That would have been a little bit nicer since this is a bolt-in. I thought it was a fixed piece that would have been welded or put in, but I don't know what I'm gonna do. Grab a long screwdriver or something and crank this thing down. Who knows? But we'll get these pins in, and then it's a slip pin up top. These should slide into the rear legs. What's the worst that can happen? They're big bolts. It's not like we're lifting 4,000-pound compressors or anything with them. Maybe it's an extra top link pin too. I don't know what category this is. I don't know how tractors are categorized, but there's parts, there's things. Just make do. Well, jammed a, what does it say? Number 3 screwdriver through the hitch on the pins. Crank that down as hard as a P3-6 quality Menards clearance special would let me. If I torqued those down anymore, that would have broken. I'm surprised that's actually not more bent. But we got the pins in on the lower, so let's see how good I am at this one-handed thing. Or, oh crap, actually, that's surprisingly the right size on the balls. Yeah. One hand, 2 legs, kind of. Stay. I don't know how this works. Are you supposed to put like a bushing sleeve thing before the pin? Maybe? How many of these do I have? 2 of these? Let's try that. Nope, too long. That won't work. How do tractor things work? Oh, do I really only have one of the short spacers? Whatever. 2 pins, that'll stop it from sliding off. It'll walk a little bit. But one of these through the eyelet, and then a little snap lock type deal, I think. Locked. Woo. We're losing one over here. Get in there. Yeah. I don't know, I think I've mentioned it in other videos and other things, but all the guys, that film on their phones, thoroughly impressed by their ability of doing things one-handed. I tried, I just pinched the crap out of my finger. So that'll have a little walkie-walkie, left and right. Got this pin up top locked in. This is set to the shortest. Jesus. A 16-inch top link. I do need the pin, actually. Pin, cotter pin, I think up. Well, how the hell is this gonna work? Oh, there's 2 holes. I didn't see that top one. I was gonna say, there's a cotter pin on this side on the shoulder, but how am I gonna do this? Gotta hold this link up like that. This comes up. Let's see how good we can do with this one-hander. This goes something like that. We'll use the leg down here. Resting. This goes through. This needs to come up. I do apologize for the quality of this video. Just making things kind of sort of work. Get that through there. Twist, turn. Should swivel, but it's not. There we go. Come on. Get in there. Now, it's got a shoulder on this side, no shoulder on this side. I don't think I need one of these spacers, but I'm trying to eliminate at least. That'll work fine. A little bit of the slop up here, so we'll do that, and then jam a cotter pin through. Look at that. We got a 3-point hitch. How well will this thing start? We have a 3-point hitch with a receiver. So now, what I think I'm gonna try and do before I head home, I gotta slide this forklift attachment over here next to this one. That's really heavy. That's really heavy. Compressor's really heavy. But if I put the, do I have a ball? Yeah, I got a 2-inch ball right there. I might put that ball sitting on the shelf into here, hitch the compressor, back the compressor into the blast room with the tractor facing forward right here. That can warm up because I'm gonna need that again one more time this week. And then figure out what I'm doing with these. I need to get that forklift higher because the 3-point arms will not go low enough to mount to those. But if it's sat on a pallet, it should be okay. Let's fire this up. Let's see what happens. Wow, that actually goes way higher than I thought. Good amount of height. It's up to my waist, so that's good. Alright, let's throw a ball on there and start moving stuff. The tractor's still firing right up and down. Top link, I didn't even pull this pin out, I just kind of left it where it sits, but we got the upper link in. I always get nervous about buying Amazon stuff because I never know if it's actually going to fit. I threw a hitch in. This is not at all safe. There's no lock or cotter pin on here. There's a ton of slop on this lower hitch. I don't love that. I will say, in regards to this being a receiver for a hitch, that's way too much play. I don't think anything's going to break. It's not going to be catastrophic or cause any major issues, especially when I'm moving a compressor from out there to in here. It's 15 feet, so I don't really care enough. I don't know if I actually need this little spacer in here. This could technically float back and forth too, but hydraulics are working. This is up. I have another lock pin in the back of the dually that I'm not going to grab, but I'm just going to leave that on there for right now. I think. Yeah, I need to grab one more pin just for the extra hitch. But I'm gonna, this fired right up, so I'm gonna start this back up again, back it out, hitch the compressor outside, pull it forward, get it ready to back that in through the doors into the paint booth. And then this needs to also slide over this way. And then I'm gonna leave the tractor and the compressor hooked up, parked over here next to all the hoses that I didn't clean up from the other night, but I need to use those tomorrow. Let's try that. So, key on. We're in neutral. Tractor thing. one-handed. This is a terrible, terrible idea. Throttle just a little bit. It dropped so quickly before. No weight. It's very slow. So we got a pintle hitch on the compressor. There's that. Steering. Try not to hit the post or the bagger over here. Think I have enough room? I'll find out real quick. We're past the 3-point. Yeah. No power steering. In reverse. Backward. Go back onto the third. Go wide here. Thanks again, Jerry. Genuinely. I feel like this is going to be very useful for me, provided that this actually works for what I'm looking to try and do. Outside in the winter of Midwest cold. And it's a Ford. I don't know if the headlights work on this. I actually never looked for the switch yet. But if I don't have to get off of this and screw up that jack, I will be thrilled. No power steering, one hand on the phone, the other foot slipping a clutch. What we shouldn't be doing. Dropping the phone. I need two hands. Or do I? We're in motion. Third gear. Got like 3 inches on the foot of that. I should really raise that up. I can turn weight on no power steering on a tractor than I can in the truck, because this is way smaller. Back in neutral. I'm already loving this. I didn't have to get off and I didn't have to screw anything down. So I'm gonna close the doors real quick, slide this over by myself. It's about 400 or 500 pounds. Wrestle this heavy piece of steel over there-ish somewhere, and then we'll back the tractor and the compressor all the way into the spray booth. All right, I added a board here because I don't have a closing hitch or a pintle hitch. I'm just running a ball. It was getting stuck and trying to like pop off the ball here. So I think the 2x4 or the 4x8 piece of plywood should work just fine. Try it again. Well, first day of work with the tractor. It works. That's gotta go farther back, and it will. But for right now, there's a lot of float on these arms, so 3 inches of float trying to back up something up a berm. It's a little bit more work than I wanted it to be, so I'll make a couple more spacers to drop in there and pull these arms in a little bit closer so it'll be a little bit more forgiving, because right now you try backing up and this just keeps sliding back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But she's back in. I didn't have to mess with the screw jack. It should come up a little bit. I did put the pintle hitch on there just to lock it, because when I hit the embankment here, it doesn't look like much, but that's a pretty good drop off. It's almost a foot. It was trying to basically jack up the tongue and slide off the ball. So for now, that will work. Good old tractor. Thanks, Jerry. Next up, we gotta put some hydraulics on this old girl. Should be able to get this forklift attachment set up on there and run some hydraulics from the cover plate to the rear and get that working. But that's the next video. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Hopefully you enjoyed me fumbling around trying to figure out how to make all this work one-handed. Catch you on the next one.